You're Locked On Devils, your daily podcast on the New Jersey Devils. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi, this is Bryce Salvador, and you're Locked On Devils with Trey Matthews.
Elliott scores! Oh, Steven stepped up, nailed him. Brodor's got the puck. What a shot. The Devils win the Stanley Cup.
Thank you, Timo. Welcome back once again. My first question for you is, I asked you this at exit interviews, but I wanted to see if your thought process has changed. After the trade, the scoring numbers went down a little, but the aggressive physical showing was still on full display. How well do you think you were utilized this past season, and how would you like to be utilized going forward now that you're locked up long term?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a player that's I like to score goals. I mean, that's no secret. But yeah, sometimes you got to be more physical, and I think I'm a guy that can contribute in different ways, offensively, but also, defensively, physically, and try to have an impact in different ways into the game. So yeah, for me, it's going to be great coming into training camp, and obviously show the coaching staff right from the start I'm ready. To take the next step personally, but also as a team, and fully committed to that. And it all starts now with the way you work in the summer.
Good. Here, my second question for you is, with the addition of Tyler Toffoli, has there been any discussion as to which line you'll potentially play on? Because we know you've had a history with Nico. It seemed like you and Jack were a good dynamic during the playoffs. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on the matter.
I mean, those are things, they always change. And, the way Lindy has been coaching, there's been a lot of switching in the lines. And I think those are things that are going to get worked out during the preseason. Probably going to feel who's going to be with who, but then there's going to be so many switches. So I think that's why it's important that you get along with everybody. You can play. You got to be able to play on every line with everybody, and that's so important.
Okay, my final one is, now that you're officially here long term, what are some of the personal goals you've set for yourself, at least for this upcoming season?
Well, winning a Stanley Cup, that's my goal.
Thank you. Thanks for doing this once again, Tom. My first question for you is, when Timo was first acquired, the scoring numbers did go down. However, his physicality was on full display. How well do you think Timo was utilized this past year?
Again, I go back to adjustment time. It takes time. I've said this over and over again. You make a judgment. You pass judgment on your team probably around the 20-game mark. Might be the 25-game mark, but where things are starting to click. Guys are knowing their system, He didn't have that luxury. He didn't. But we did see him get better and better and better. He is a physical specialist. He's physical. He gets to the net. He's heavy on pucks. We all know he can shoot the puck. I just think having time now spent with us, and then moving forward, he's only going to get better as a player, more comfortable. And I said this moments ago, we're looking to build the best top 9 in the league with a fourth line that really isn't a fourth line, but can play against other teams' top lines and give Nico a rest. And we're getting there. So with Timo, it's like, how do we exploit matchups? Well, be 3 lines deep offensively and have mismatches on in-game mismatches. So I think Timo came in. I think what we saw towards the end, how he was continuing to elevate his game, was exactly what we traded for.
Awesome. You've been a part of a Stanley Cup winning organization before. How does this current Devils team compare to that?
We've got talent. We had talent in Pittsburgh. We had veterans who came in who won. We've added that here. We drafted well in Pittsburgh. I think we're drafting well here. We've made decisions on players because of the processes that we have in place to try as hard as we can to make perfect decisions. We did that in Pittsburgh. So I learned a lot from Ray Shero and how he did things, but I bring my own little flavor as well. But I got to give credit to my team. my hockey ops team, and how we conduct business and how we dissect things and how we challenge each other. But at the end of the day, you know what? We support one another, and there has to be one person who makes the decision, and that's me. But it's not without taking every single information I get from every single department to somehow try to make the proper decisions when we need to make decisions.
My final question for you is, I know you touched on this briefly, but I was wondering if you could go into a little bit more detail. How much more potential does this team have now that Tyler Toffoli is added to the roster? What are you hoping that he can specifically provide for your organization?
Like I said, leadership, winning pedigree, right shot, power play guy, heavy, getting heavier on pucks, really good support to skilled players, and we have that. He's a good person. He knows how to win. I can't tell you how many text messages I've gotten from ex people who have been around this player in the different organizations he's been in, the quality of person he is, and that's all we're trying to do. I don't care really how good you are. You got to be a good person too. You got to be a good teammate. You got to be able to coexist and work together. So lots to like. I wouldn't have made the trade if I didn't feel this strong about it.
Before we continue today's discussion, I want to tell you guys about FanDuel. And like always, please remember to gamble responsibly. So take your first swing at betting MLB on FanDuel and get 10 times your first bet amount in bonus bets up to $200. That's right, just $20 and you'll land $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. That's $200 you could spend betting everything from the money line to the over and under to who you think is going to hit the first home run of the game, all in an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Plus, when you win, you can get paid instantly. There's no better way to bet on MLB than FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. So sign up today and visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get up to $200 on bonus bets. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon. FanDuel, the official partner of Major League Baseball. All right, back to today's discussion. Take it away once again.
Tyler, welcome to New Jersey once again. My first question for you is, how much more potential does this team have now that you're added to the roster? I would like to get your perspective on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like we were just talking about, I'm a guy with a lot more experience coming into the locker room. And if you look at the way the team's set up, there's so many good young players and a lot of young talent. So hopefully I can just, come in and fit in and not step on anybody's toes and just play. And like I said, just build off of what the guys in the locker room did last season.
Awesome. My second question for you is, you've been on a Stanley Cup winning team before. Do you see any similarities to this current Devils team?
Yeah, it's different. I mean, like I said, I haven't really played against the team very often. So I think you just kind of see the record and the score of games almost. And you look at it and you see the potential. So it's a matter of just putting everything together. And I think, and I hope that I'm just another piece to the puzzle and can do some pretty special things here.
Okay, last one. What are you looking forward to most about playing in New Jersey?
Yeah, I think I've heard the guys love it there. Watching games last year, the fans were incredible, and it makes me want to win and bring back all the good memories that they had, a few years ago. So we'll see how it goes.
You were third on the Boston Bruins in face-off win percentage and also had 31 blocks and 69 hits. How do you hope to contribute to the roster? I know you touched briefly on it, but I was wondering if you could go into a little bit more detail, because obviously the Devils have a lot of good weapons up and down their lineup.
Yeah, I want to help any way I can. So if it's a face-off, then it's a face-off. It's a PK, then it's a PK. If it's a defensive role, if it's a shutdown, the best line and opposing team, I can do that as well. And a little bit of offense for sure. I think I can produce some points as well. So that's what I want to do. Anyway, to help the team to win. Sorry.
No, I apologize. My final question for you is that you said you want to win, and obviously you've had a lot of past experience of participating in the playoff games. What are some of the lessons that you're going to take from your past experience and try to pass it down to this Devils team?
Yeah, I think I'm getting a little bit more experience than it was when I get in the league for sure. And when you get older, I think you focus more on the mental preparation and trust your instinct, trust your gut, and play your game, and don't change anything just because it's playoffs. So um, I think I can bring this in and help the young guys a little bit with that.
That's it for me. Thank you. Colin, my first question for you is, as previously mentioned, the Devils obviously have a unique plethora in defensemen, including Jonas Siegenthaler, Kevin Ball, and John Marino, but also offensive capable players in Dougie Hamilton and Luke Hughes. Did you notice anything about their playing capabilities from afar?
I wouldn't say anything from afar. I would just say, for Marino and Siegenthaler and guys like that who maybe, some people would think that they were underrated in the past. I'd say that, they really proved themselves last year. They had fantastic years and contributed greatly to the team's success. So, yeah, once again, you're always happy to see that, guys are able to take the next step so easily, and I'm sure sometimes in different cases, it's just a matter of opportunity and stuff like that. And they did fantastic. So fun group to be joining.
Awesome. My last question is, while on Dallas, you had a 4.6 defensive point shares, which ranked 4th, 108 hits, which ranked 5th, 70 blocks, which ranked 5th, plus minus rating of plus 23, ranked 5th. How do you wish to contribute to the Devils since you had more depth on the right-handed side? I know you touched on it a little bit, but I was wondering if you could go into a tad bit more detail.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know if I can. I think it's just, anywhere I can help. I think that, like you said there in your last question, there's such a good group of players back there on the back end, it was with offensive and defensive capabilities. I think personally, I've been able to do a little bit of both throughout my career. So whatever kind of role, is needed, hope I'm able to help out.
Welcome once again to New Jersey, Travis. My first question.
Hey, thanks, Trey.
My first question for you: are there any specific lessons or techniques that you picked up while you were still coaching in Vancouver that you hope to transfer over to New Jersey?
Oh man, I think as a coach, you're always, you're always trying to learn, trying to figure out new techniques as far as what's working in the league, certain trends, maybe get ahead of trends. I think, in Vancouver, we did study offense and try to how do we install it, how do we teach it, how do we practice it, and look for certain scenarios in the game that you can take advantage of to score. I look forward to trying to do that with New Jersey. And also on the power play as well. Teaching and learning are a big part of the power play. And when you've got young players that are as good as they are already, that's what excites me.
Awesome. Now, my second question is, now that you're the associate coach, what do you hope to get out of the players from a personality perspective? What can they expect from you behind the bench?
Yeah, again, I'm a guy that's pretty direct, pretty honest. I look at like any good coach, you have to be demanding with players, but also be approachable. I think that's a big part of coaching. You want to install confidence and inspire players to play their best. And I think you go about that a little different with every player. And if you don't get to know your players and have, daily communication with them, then it's hard to get to know them and understand what makes them tick and how to get the best out of them and really how to help them. Which leads to more wins for your group.
Good. That's all I got. Thank you so much.
All right, Trey.
Good morning, Jesper, and congratulations on the new deal. My first question for you is, you talked briefly about the playoffs. However, you're coming off back-to-back seasons in which you were able to get 73 points. Obviously, you're now locked up for a long period of time. So I want to hear some of your goals so that way you can strive for that consistent production that I know you hope to expect yourself out of.
Yeah, I think I'm just going into the offseason the same way and with even more motivation this year than previous years. I feel like obviously we as a team and me as an individual had a good season, but I still feel like we have a lot of more gears as a team, and I have a lot of more gears as an individual. So I see the same thing that I'm far away from done, and I know that I have a lot of things that I can improve and make myself a better player, and that's what I'm working on a daily basis to show myself and show the rest of the league that how good I am and how high of a level I can take that to. So I'm just very excited to continue that journey, and together with the team and all the individuals in the team, that we can all strive for a lot more.
Awesome. And obviously, you've been having these contract discussions before about signing long term. Now that it's officially coming to fruition, does it sort of alleviate the pressure? And now you can put solely the focus into just trying to see how much further you can take the organization with your play skill?
Yeah, I would say it's very, very exciting. Obviously, I'm very happy with the decision, and I do think that throughout all the negotiation, this was the right path to go, and in the end of the day, we ended up where we wanted to be. And even if I signed a 2-year contract and a 1-year contract in the past, this was always the main goal. It was never a intention of not trusting the process in New Jersey or something like that. It was always a way for us to get to this long-term deal, and for the both sides to agree on it. And so I'm very happy that the way everything went, and together with my agent to really set this plan and to trust this plan, that we ended up at this area where we wanted to be, and where I get the chance to really grow together with this team and build something extremely successful over time. And that was just in the place that I wanted to be, and this is the place I want to win too.
And my final question is, what is your ultimate goal from your personal perspective? Because like I said, you were able to put up 73 points in back-to-back seasons. Playoffs didn't go as planned, but obviously there'll be other opportunities. I just want to hear the goals that you've set for yourself.
You obviously help the team even more to win games than last year. I think points and all that stuff that will come by hard work, by details, and by a lot of commitment in the summer. That way you'll help the team to grow together, and I also very much believe that personal success will come from the team success. So the only goal I have now is to go to fight for that cup and to continue the journey that we began last year, and that's the only motivation and the only goal that I've set right now.
Thank you, Jesper, and congratulations once again. Good morning, Tom. My first question to you is, I'm curious to hear your mindset for the rest of the offseason, because a few weeks ago you hinted at the fact that maybe you guys could pursue a first-round draft pick, and obviously now you got Jesper Bratt signed long-term. You talked about Timo Meier. So I'm given how the free agent market is, the trade market is, wherever the case might be, I just want to hear your thoughts on what's your approach for the rest of this offseason?
Well, the checklist is concentrated on our own players. Again, there's a UFA or 2 or 3 that we will continue to talk to their agents and see if it makes sense to bring back. As far as Timo is concerned, I said it earlier in the conversation that our goal hasn't swayed at all. It's to ink his name onto a contract that keeps him here for the next 8 years, and it's music to my ears and the organization's ears that he said the same thing back to us, which is great. So that's our goal. There's no time frame with that. As far as the draft, yes, I did say, you never know, right? You never know. Now that Jesper Bratt signed, that's one asset that potentially could have gotten me a first-round pick, but we're not there. The draft's funny. You build up one day, next thing you know, you get a call, and next thing you know, a team makes you start thinking about something differently. But like I said, I'm worried about today. I got a checklist today, Friday, the 16th of June, to to really go through. And first and foremost, is concentrating on our own players and trying to keep players here that continue to help us win.
Awesome. And my final question is, now that you got your young core re-signed for the long term, I want to hear some of the short-term goals you have for this team within the next year or so.
As far as what personnel,
how much further do you think this team can go now that you have that young core set for the long-term future? I just want to hear how far do you think this team can go come next year, the year after, now that they have that playoff experience under their belt, they've gotten better, they've taken strides in their game. I just want to hear your thoughts on the matter.
Well, I think I said this at my year-end press conference, that the standard has been set, expectations have been set, and now it's go time. Are we going to be a 112-point team again? Well, that's pretty hard to do. Our goal is to play the best hockey we possibly can play for 82 games, get in the playoffs, and then push to win a Stanley Cup like everybody else. As we continue to mature as a group, as we continue to potentially add to the group, the most important thing is watching the core grow, develop. Now, and I said this, 3 years ago, we got some good kids. It's time to add some men to our lineup. We added some men to our lineup, but now we're watching our kids turn into men. And that's exciting.